It's absurd. I only found out this morning too that he's actually a character of a comedian.
Oh, he's a comedian. Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't know that, and it's made it so much better. Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think it's funnier if it is a real rapper, because if it is a real rapper and that was a legitimate attempt at a radio show, that's quite laughable as well. Like, have you ever watched? There's this radio show called Sway in the Morning, and he does this thing. It's called the Five Fingers of Death. So he gets famous rappers to do freestyles over 5 different beats, and it goes for like 5 minutes, so it's a beat a minute. Yep. And some people can nail it, and then other really prolific rappers just can't do it, like Kanye West.
Oh, I don't. There's no way. I couldn't see him doing it either way, even if he was prepared for it.
No, you could tell he wasn't prepared. He just sat there, nodding his head to the beat, and then he's like, yeah, I can rhyme. And then he'd just be silent for another like 15 seconds. He'd say a word, and then you could see him try to think of a word that rhymes with it. Like,
can rhyme. Give me a time, and I'm gonna shine.
That is actually legitimately more words packed into a couple of sentences than Kanye did the entire thing. It's
get me on the show then.
Pretty funny.
But yeah, that's absurd. I don't know. I like it more now that I know he's a comedian, because I don't know, his personality was just fucking annoying. I couldn't deal with it.
It was annoying. Have you seen a live performance that he did of it though at a big show?
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Went off.
It's just too much for me. Oh well, we probably should, start also.
Oh, by the way, if you're listening, this is the CasualCast.
Yeah, fucking oath.
That was, we might as well leave that as the intro.
I think that's one of the biggest tangent starts.
It is one of the biggest tangent starts. I like it though, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm your host today of the CasualCast. Welcome to episode 11. I'm here with Ben Storia. How are you doing, my man?
Hello. I'm well. How are you, Sam?
I am fantastic.
It's good to hear.
Indeed.
I'm glad that you're just keeping well.
I'm keeping well. I am a little bit annoyed at one thing though. So I went to trim my beard the other day, and as I was doing it, I forgot that the clipper size that I have on it is different to my old beard trimmer. So it trimmed it pretty much to nothing. So I had to do the rest of it. Now I'm looking like a 14-year-old. I have no facial hair. I mean, I look seedy to begin with. I'm stuck between looking seedy and like a 12, 14-year-old.
Well, thank God this isn't a visual podcast then, hey?
Oh, no, you wouldn't want to look at me. I've got a face for radio, I'll tell you that much.
Face for radio. That's one of my favourite terms ever. Endearment.
But I have a face for radio, but also not the talent for radio.
I have a face for radio staring in my window right now. Hello, roommate who is going to spray sea salt in their mouth. You should not do that. He's gone now.
Oh.
Face for radio, man. For sure. Anyway, what have you been up to? What's been keeping you all busy?
Yeah, keeping busy enough anyway. So, been playing a lot of the current Overwatch season. Kicking off with the classic trend of always both of us starting off by saying Overwatch. Getting really tilted, getting really annoyed. My rank is just slipping down, getting real angry. So yeah, that's fun. I got to the point last night where I got so annoyed I did actually throw my phone. I threw it at the lounge that sits behind me, and I've noticed this morning that even though I threw it at a soft lounge, there is a crack in it. So, I've done that. Like, nothing else usually ever makes me lash out like that, but competitive Overwatch, dude, holy shit.
I know what it is. You try so hard and you just get nowhere.
I'm getting somewhere, it's just down.
I'm also ready for you to start the song, but don't. It's not worth it. But,
No.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. It's just something that, plays in your mind because you try and you have, like, a good team and it just doesn't work. It's like, a lot of people will have the mentality of throwing shit at the wall and we'll see what sticks. But anyway, enough of that, I think, because everyone's got to be sick of hearing this every week. Anyone who listens to this at all recursively, I'm sorry, we love Overwatch, but we don't win at it. But other than that, I have been playing a little bit of Shadow of War. I'm doing the trophy hunt for that, because being an avid fan of the Lord of the Rings series, which will come up later in the podcast as well, I'm going to try and get the platinum for that as well. Other than that, watching The Office, the American version, and just job searching, the things you do.
I'm in the old job search as well, because believe it or not, with our 35 subscribers on the YouTubes, we don't actually make millions of dollars.
I do. I just hide it from you.
There you go. I mean, I look at our revenue thing on YouTube, it says you are ineligible to make money. So I don't know where you're getting that from.
I paid them to make it say that. Convenient, right?
Sneaky. You've got Google in your in your pay book. There's a term for that, and it's not coming to my mind.
I don't know what you're talking about, but fair enough.
On the payroll, that's the word.
Do you mean I'm on Google's payroll? Because I don't think I pay Google.
You just said you paid them to keep the thing away from me.
Yeah, but no, Google doesn't own YouTube, do they? Or is that...
Google definitely owns YouTube.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I thought so. See, so, like, technically, they're paying me, I'm paying them. It's a bit of a circular process.
You actually end up with no money. What they give you, you're putting right back.
Yeah, see, so, like, we are making money. I'm just putting it straight back in to not give you money, so really, am I doing you a wrong? I don't think so.
I would say you are.
Nah.
Either way, yeah, so apart from playing Overwatch, I've been watching a bit of Arrested Development again. Nearly finished the first season.
Oh, nice.
Great show. Been keeping up with Sugar Pine 7 on the YouTube. Still think they make the best content on the
YouTube
web,
Arrested Development.
CasualCast. YouTube Arrested Development, but better.
Yeah, it's good.
And yeah, I'm playing a lot of FIFA and Breath of the Wild. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. But on that topic of YouTube and Google, what we actually wanted to talk about for the first topic, we might as well just dive right in, considering it's just two of us today.
Okay.
We wanted to talk about starting a YouTube channel and how that's gone for us, especially like with a podcast and going through video, because we've gone just over 12 months of making videos on and off.
12-month anniversary a couple of days ago. Woohoo!
Woo! It was actually about a month ago nearly.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So yeah, we kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, I don't think Ben and I have ever sat down and talked about like what we thought would have happened going in and how the year's gone and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to do that. So, what are your thoughts on the year past, Ben?
On the year past? Well, like, it's been a choppy year, at the very least. Like, between us, I think we've both moved twice. We've both had an instance where I'm currently in where we've had terrible internet, so getting footage between us has been, like, a real problem. As well as the fact that, it turns out, surprisingly, we're both terrible at sticking to a schedule. Who'd have knew?
I don't think we stuck to a schedule once.
Exactly, so, like... Best word I can describe it as a roller coaster. A roller coaster of emotions and fun and just a whole lot of, I'm going to say learning as well. Like, it's been a real learning curve as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you? What do you think?
It's been a fun one, though. Yeah, I mean, I somewhat agree, especially about the schedule thing. I was talking to Jack from the Explosion Network when I was on his Grandstand Gurus episode last week, and it was just after the show. And I said, oh yeah, when does this upload? He's like, yeah, 12 p.m. every Thursday, without a doubt, always up. And then he was like, when does your CasualCast upload? I was like, I don't know. When does the CasualCast upload? We've been going for over a year, and we're up to episode 11. So how's that for a weekly show?
Yeah, I reckon. My God, I didn't even notice.
But... in saying that, if you look at our uploads over the past year, it's been about 54 weeks. I think we have just around the same amount of videos as well.
Yeah.
So we have uploaded once a week, which is alright considering we had like a 3-month period nearly where we didn't upload anything.
And also considering we had periods where we'd upload 3 videos a week, which obviously was not sustainable.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. But we definitely do need to work on having a schedule, especially if we can get one day specific to get a video out every week.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting something out there for you adoring fans. Basking our adulation.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when, like, with the internet situations, always moving around, always have differing schedules, stuff like that. And there's only, for the most part, only 2 of us that actually edit and create the stuff.
Yeah.
We'll have extra people on videos and podcasts, but it's always you and I doing the editing and producing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, in saying that, that's actually my favourite part of the job, if you wanted to talk about that. All the editing and producing and making a final product. That's what I really enjoyed and what I've learned a lot of over the last year, especially the video editing. Yeah, well, I did a small course on it at uni last year, but I've learned a lot more myself than getting taught it. And the most interesting thing to come out of that is, like, I showed you small little basics of editing, but we actually came up with totally different editing styles and workflows. Like, totally different.
And it's weird because, like, we'll talk about it and I'll be like, oh, what are you up to in this process? You're like, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm through my first run through it. And for you, being someone who, like, will edit every bit as you come to it, like, you won't set up your, like, sequence. You'll come a bit, you'll cut it, you'll edit it, make everything look good, and then move on to the next bit. Whereas I'll go through, look at everything and be like, right, I'm going to make a storyline for what I want this video to look like. So like I'll get the best bits that I like, arrange them, and recently I've been trying to increase like the flow of the video, so the pacing changes a bit by adding bits around, changing it around to make it feel a bit more fluid. And so like I'll be like, I've done my first go through, and now I'm going to edit it properly, and you're like, that sounds terrible. That's not how you do it. What are you talking about? But no, it's interesting. It's been a real learning curve as well. Like that completely separately. Like I've had no training with that at all. Just kind of been working out the kinks, and like very early on, I remember we were like talking on Skype, whatever it was at that time, and you were giving me all these little hints and like tips and tricks, because like I didn't even know how to cut videos, let alone like add things on it and add like titles and that. Even like 6 months later, I'm trying to add titles to my fucking Premiere Pro, and you're like, it's this, you just do this, this, and this, and I couldn't do it, so I had to try and make them by hand with great imitation cheap Chinese imports. It cost me...
They worked though. They worked.
Yeah.
They worked so good.
I'm proud of it.
For an insight into that, what Ben's talking about, if you watch the first couple of videos before our Lucio Ball video, the Overwatch one, I'd whacked in a graphic. It was just one that came with Premiere Pro, nothing special. At the beginning of all the videos, and Ben didn't have that feature in his Premiere Pro, or didn't know it was there or something like that. It wasn't updated, so he didn't have it. So he made his own imitation just out of pictures and shapes, and it still looked pretty good.
It worked real well. I'm proud of my imitation.
Well. Yeah, that's exactly right. But I mean, it doesn't help that we've never lived in the same spot, and only like 3 or 4 times we've ever actually met up to make stuff together.
Yeah.
In the time that we've done the channel as well. So like I could never, like sit behind you and show you how to do stuff. You couldn't show me how to do stuff you figured out that I didn't know. But I think probably the hardest part about it all is definitely trying to grow, having a consistent upload to grow, and getting the videos out there is very difficult in such a saturated sort of market with so many gaming channels out there.
And like trying to find that stick to get people to keep coming back every time is hard. Because of that saturation, like you can try and be unique, but I guarantee that there's 13,000 other Australian gamers that have some names similar to ours that do something similar to us as well. And because they live close to their friends, or they're like a solo channel, they can keep pumping out that kind of content.
It is a lot easier for them, but what I do think is unique about our content that's coming up, at least, is I feel like we have figured out a shtick for us that is kind of unique for gaming videos that we haven't really executed in our current videos yet. We sort of have in one, and it's not something I want to talk about a lot. I'd prefer our videos to speak for themselves once we do actually get a flow of making them.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it'd be something unique and quite entertaining as well.
Yeah.
Once we figure out how to flesh that out,
and hopefully coming up, like when we both like have jobs and stuff, and we've got a bit more free time now with everything coming to a wrap at the end of the year for like uni and whatever we're doing with our like post jobs. But hopefully we can do a bit more like content from face-to-face kind of things and be a bit around, because it is hard being so far away. It's good like 3-hour drive to get between it.
That's it. And only one of us has a license, so that makes it even harder. Yeah. But
especially
sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, and especially when you're starting a channel with 4 people, and 2 other people kind of like, one hasn't been in any because of like commitments and been out of the country for a while, and then the other having a computer that is set 100% in Spanish, so everything that you have on it is Spanish, which is, a bit of a hindrance. So that's a thing.
Yeah, Jake's computer is all in Spanish, and he doesn't want to send it in to get it fixed, which is, fair enough. You don't want other people meddling with your computer and stuff like that all the time.
And funny secret.
Some shady business dealings.
He's, likes to get off on bakery items, a certain doughs. Labelled Doughboys.
Jake is also the head of the Illuminati, which isn't a widely known fact. So if his computer were to be found, I think shit would hit the fan.
And on top of that, he's the actual leader of the bin chicken brigade, chasing bin chickens of all sorts.
That's also true. So you don't want those bin chicken payroll information getting out, But yeah, and then I don't know if our YouTube description still actually mentions the other guy, Nathan. I think it might. I'm sure Nathan's name is mentioned somewhere. He's still yet to be on any content that we've uploaded.
Yeah.
Except we did set out with him to be a founding member of the channel, which he still is. But like, we have recorded one video with Nathan and Jake. The one video that we did with all 4 of us together was a video of Battlefield 1. When that came out, and to this day I feel like it's still the greatest thing that we ever recorded, but alas, Jake or Nathan's audio didn't actually record or something like that.
Forever
So we
lost.
never got to upload it. It was the funniest, best gameplay I think we could have ever had.
It has to be, even for like us who played a lot of Battlefield, one of the most unique Battlefield games that I ever participated in. Like, driving along, for an example, just in a car, all four of us, talking some shit, tunes blasting through the radio, and then all of a sudden, you hit by a biplane, and the machine starts to spin out of control. Everyone's screaming, having a good time. I mean, like, it's probably something you've seen happen before, but how often does it happen to you in a video when you're recording? I mean, like, it was the golden child. It was the golden egg of videos that we'll never get back. But it was
Absolutely.
fun. Good memory. Just look
Yeah,
back and cry on.
I liken that to the Wu-Tang Clan album that will never be released to public because one guy bought out all the copies. I feel like it is probably akin to the same level of quality as that album would have been. Yep. No, the video was never edited, obviously, so I don't know what the final product would have been. But what we recorded was fantastic. But what I do actually want to talk about, apart from videos that never eventuated, what are some of your favourite pieces of content we've done?
Favourite pieces of content that I have done? Okay, so, not that it's a favourite, but looking back on it now, I think like one of the best ones to look at is probably the first one we ever did, the GTA one, where I'm absolutely sick as a dog, and like none of us really have the flow yet. We haven't really like talked about it. We're just like, fuck it, let's just dive in. Now we've got all the gear, and yeah, I mean, it's just like interesting to look back on how much we've grown and changed, even through a year on a smaller channel. So I'd have to say that's one of the favorites. But favorite video overall though, I want to say is the Destiny series of the clown one, clowns and raids or something we called it. Yeah. With Bojangles the clown. That was great. That is one of the favourite ones to look back on. What about you?
That
What's
is a quality video. I think that was
your
the second episode.
Yeah.
My favourite? Yeah, I mean, I really do especially like that first GTA Races one because that was our first video, and I think it does have some good moments too. We just weren't good at making videos at the time, so if we were, that video could have been a lot better. But it's nice to see how much we've grown from that one. Because I was watching it the other day, and I was like, holy shit, in this 1 year we've actually learned so much. Yeah. But aside from that, I do really like... That's another GTA Races one, actually. I can't even remember what it was called. Oh,
I'm walking here.
There's the one with Christopher Walken. I think that was my debut of Christopher Walken impressions.
With the Avengers. Oh, yeah, the little cars.
Yeah, with the
Avengers.
Yeah, I especially like that one as well because that was when not so much for the video, but I learned a lot editing that video. I tried a lot of new things that I hadn't done in Premiere Pro before, and I really liked how that turned out in the edit. I feel like that was one of the first times where I started, experimenting with the software and trying to learn.
Yeah.
But in terms of actual content that we made, I think our Rocket League video is fantastic. Our Lucio Ball video is probably our best video. That was... Especially because of your edit. You edited that fantastically.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Like, that's probably the one that I'm most proud of with, like, my editing. Like, just the thumbnail as well. Like, moving everything in together and, like, changing it around to make, like, a decent thumbnail. Because that's the first one I put, like, decent effort into. And then just, like, all little tips and tricks that I tried using. Like, even, like, the shtick that I had using for it, despite the fact that it was, like, really late at night and it's a bit quiet. I think it's just, like, yeah, like, a well-done video that I can be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had less resources to work with for that one than we did with most of our other videos. Like, we didn't have your gameplay or your face cam, so it was all my footage.
Yeah.
But we did get your audio, which was quite nice. And that was kind of our first attempt at how we want our new videos to go, with a little narration and stuff like that. But I won't really explain exactly how they're going to go in the future.
And so, like, with mine for you, for, like, your editing, I think the Fortnite video we put out, one, because, like, the things that did happen in it were really funny, but also, like, the way that you edited it was really good. Like, it had a good pacing to it. I'm not sure if you changed it around, but, like, the video, it felt, like, a little bit more pace. And using, like, the little kind of meme things, I think them jumping up on screen engages people a little bit more. And also, pretty early on, you kind of, like, drawn in towards the video. And so I think that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we started learning to cut our videos down in length as well. So I think that helps the Fortnite video, too. It's only 8 minutes long, which I think is a good sweet spot.
I'm quite happy with all our times now.
In terms of the podcast, though, which is something that I really enjoy doing, I wish we sort of had time to do it more, which we're slowly getting towards, is, I think it's episode 4, the first episode with Dylan Blight. The first Dylan that ever appeared. I think that's a pretty standout OG Dill, the real Dylan. Shout out to Dylan
Ouch.
Blight from the Explosion Network. If you're watching, man, shout out to you. But
Shout out to Dylan Swain too. We love you as well.
I do love Dylan Swain, but he's the knockoff clone. Even though I've known him for many years, longer than Dylan Blight, and he's also a personal friend.
You could say that he's the stormtrooper, whereas
but...
Dylan Blight is the fucking clone troopers. Is that a good analogy for you? Did I do a Star Wars?
Ooh, I'd say a better Star Wars analogy would be Dylan Swain is the clone troopers, and Dylan Blight is the Jango Fett, who the clone troopers were cloned from.
Ooh, damn, that's even worse.
Yeah. No,
even I know that.
You've both done fantastic episodes, but I feel like there was a standout one where we started to get a knack for podcasting, making some jokes, trying to have a little bit of flow, talking on mic and stuff like that. And that's just a hilarious episode. So
there's a lot goes on in it, and especially for me, like I have had no prior experience with podcasts until our first one that we did. I can't remember what it was about. I think Strange or something, or was it the one we talked about, The Last of Us? Either way,
the
I haven't
Uncharted
done
movie, man. Red Dead Redemption 2 and the Uncharted movie. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Then there's 2 months between episodes again.
Either way, that was the first time I'd ever done anything of the sort, and so I wasn't used to it in any way, shape, or form, and especially the way that you speak and trying to get a flow in it, like you mentioned, is something that I still today don't really have a huge knack for, whereas you do. But evidently, that's why you're the host, and I just tag along.
I still feel like it's something I could learn a lot more. I mean, I let topics drag on a bit sometimes and stuff. I always feel like I do when I'm editing.
That's why it's the CasualCast.
It's a CasualCast. Who fucking cares?
Fuck it all. I don't fucking stupid ass CasualCast. Just whack it up there, you audience.
Fuck our listeners. I'll give them shit, and if I give them shit, they'll take the shit.
Yeah, you can't do shit. You don't know me. You know where I live. It's gonna be fine.
Except for some of them do. Actually, one of our avid listeners are in my house right now. But
oh dear, that's terrifying. That is genuinely sounds terrifying.
It is. She's probably listening from the other room at the moment.
Knock twice if you need help. I'm on my way. I'll see you in 3 hours. That's too late.
But no, I'm glad that we've come to the point where we can just sit down, the two of us, and just chat shit, spin some yarn, and still seem to have a solid episode. I'll find out when I edit this.
Spin a little bit of banter.
Yeah, spin some banter. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But what do you want going forward from Banter Lab? So when it comes to year 2, which we're now in, I suppose, what would you like to see come from us?
Just quickly, to go back into the podcast, I just want to give that out there that my favourite podcast that we've done is the Millennials one, the E3 predictions. That we never had a spin-off to in the end, but I think that's my favourite personally because it's probably the best flow that we've had and the best banter, and it's kind of an enjoyable one.
Episode.
Yeah.
Goddamn millennials.
Goddamn millennial. Kratos, mate, millennials. But yeah, moving forward into the year, because it's just putting it down now that we started this channel for fun. That's always been our main focus and the main drive for it, because we actually talked about it for a while before, when me and Sam became good mates and stuff. We had similar interests around it, and I found out he did podcasts, and we're hey, do you want to do a podcast? Can't remember who did it, but the other person was yeah, I mean, I've been looking into doing a YouTube channel for a while now, so yeah, I'm 100% in. And we started off as the Filthy Casuals name was what we wanted.
Yeah,
that was a thing for a long time. We had some mock-up demo pictures done and ideas for topics and segments, and that eventually fell through until we met up in Canberra where I was living at the time and had a good sit down. It was a brainstorm, and we changed to Banter Lab, and it's stuck ever since, and now we've got some decent background images and a good logo and whatnot. And so to reflect that from the CasualCast stage to where we are now, where we're actually going to try and make a bit of an effort. For the year coming, I would like to have that schedule, if it is little as one video a week. Just having something that always comes out to kind of get those repeat numbers and engage audiences. I'd also like to incorporate more people if we can. Try and do some collabs with people, because it's always fun to talk to other people about what they think about games and get different styles coming into it, different ideas. And the podcast, another one. I'd love to do that for a bit longer, and also I'd really like to improve my editing and continue to work upon that, because that is also for me one of the most fun parts. Chuck music on that quietly that you can't hear it and sit down for 3 hours. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like 3 hours or a chore to me.
No, I'm the exact same. Editing never seems like a chore for me, especially when I'm on a roll. Editing to me is kind of like, if it's just a video with the two of us, it's the third character in the video. It adds a whole lot of personality, extra jokes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. If it's not edited well or in a certain way, I think it can fall flat. The edit makes a video,
Yeah.
and I think both of us definitely are starting to get a really good knack for that, and we're getting better at it too, which is good.
No doubt.
With the collabing and stuff, that's probably the main thing that I want to see out of it. Like you said, we started this for fun, and I have a lot of fun when we can bring new people on, especially. Sometimes we can bring something fresh in and stuff like that, extra perspectives, like you said. But we've only brought in guests for podcasts. What I would like to see... Oh, no, I suppose... No, we have done a few videos with guests in actual videos, haven't we? Like Aiden and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I would like to see us do a lot more of that. Videos with other people.
Yeah, and also, like, the Resistance one like that. Having you do something similar. Because, like, that was a lot of fun. Just variety.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So, that's what I would like to see us do more of in the next year going ahead. I'm never fussed about how many subscribers we have or how much we grow or anything. I'm not really in it for that. I'm in it for the fun. And if that happens, it happens, and that's all well and good. But that's not what you're in it for in the end, I suppose. I especially want to see... I want to see us... Try some new things, try some different shows and stuff like that, which we really don't have time for or the capacity to do at the moment. But
now you're speaking my language. Let's get on the gear. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, on the gear.
Welcome to the Crazy Crack Cast.
Under the Crazy Crack.
We're on crack. Everything's melting.
Welcome to the Crazy Crack Cast. I have no hands. I think my name's Eric. How you doing, John?
Welcome, Eric. I'm John. How you doing? My hand's melting too.
Where'd my toes go?
The Crackcast coming to a theatre near you.
Trying some new things and stuff like that, and sort of fleshing out more of an image for our content, I suppose, a feel for it. Like, if you look at a lot of other successful channels or have a shtick, you know what their content feels like, all that kind of stuff. Like, for example, if you listen to a Kind of Funny podcast, especially the game stuff, you expect something informative. If you were to listen to something like the Sugar Pine 7 podcast, it's more, I guess, free-flowing and just chatting shit. You know,
improv stories,
what you expect out of it.
Bit of an insight.
Yeah, so I'd like to sort of create a bit more of an image for our channel and our shows, I suppose. But apart from that, I just look forward to having more fun with it, definitely.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think we've got very similar views for what we want going into the future with it.
I want world domination out of Banter Lab.
I just want communism back. I feel so shit, just want communism back.
Communism can't fail. I feel so shit, just want communism back.
Yeah, man. Everyone should get paid the same.
Well, if we all got paid the same, I'd be getting paid more for doing Banter Lab than I am at the moment.
Exactly, it works out for everyone. Everyone being me and you.
That's exactly right.
Can't see anything wrong with it.
But no, I'd really like to see dual presidency of Ben and Sam in the USA out of this channel.
I want to rule over Burma. You can have the USA.
You want to rule over Burma? Okay, yeah. I'll give you Burma. I'll be the main man in charge of the free
Alright, my
world.
first declaration as the king of Burma is to attack the USA, and I'm going to use all of my Burmese pythons as my form of weapon.
But then we can record that and somehow do a let's play.
What do you... Hello, this is me and my Burmese python is eating someone. How you doing, Burmese python? It doesn't speak, it's a snake, you idiot. Get out of here.
Hey guys, it's your boy Sam, the leader of the free world, getting attacked by this python. I'm under attack from Burma. This might lead to a large-scale war. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, g'day, King of Burma with you again. We've taken over the USA and I've formally named it New Burma. And also, if you want to live there, you have to adopt one of my Burmese pythons. And if you don't live in a mud hut, I'm going to have you flayed. I also expect a 3,000% markup on every item that comes in. And I want to sell everything outside of my country as a deficit. So, let's go. Let's rule Burma.
Jeez, you are running that country into glory, I tell you. But
Well, I mean, Trump
on
can't
the
do
note
worse.
of Burma and stuff like that,
On the note of
this is a
Burma.
really bad segue. I don't know how to segue this in at all, but let's go to topic 2. So,
On the note of Burma.
so turns out Ryan Johnson, the director of episode 8, he's a fan of Burma. If you were to ask him what his thoughts are, he would say, go Burma. But you know what else his thoughts are? That Star Wars should have a new trilogy. So,
Damn.
Star Wars is getting a new trilogy created by Ryan Johnson, I believe. He's heading it. It's not... I don't think it's known exactly what his role is. He definitely wouldn't be directing all 3 movies. But I feel like he's probably writing the basis of it and stuff like that. It's not going to be based on a Skywalker. So, all the other trilogies obviously have been. This one, well, it won't be. It'll be fresh, which is good. But what I wanted to talk about is not just Star Wars. It's that a lot of major franchises are coming out and bringing in some new content. So when I say that, I say there's the big 3. You've got The Lord of the Rings, you've got Harry Potter, and you've got my personal favourite, Star Wars. So they're all coming out with some content, and it's all interesting stuff too that, besides Lord of the Rings, doesn't have to do with sort of the main cast or anything like that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because obviously, like, they're seeing success with the Star Wars series, right? And even Fantastic Beasts as well. And they're just thinking, like, hey, look, we're one of those huge universes with fan bases that love it. Maybe we can diverse into something different and revitalize this franchise. And so, like, with the recent announcement of the possible Lord of the Rings series, hoping personally as a huge Lord of the Rings fan, as it's my universe that I'm all into, that it's based off the novels with the less known stories, like delving into things like Tom Bombadil and things of the sort.
What the hell? What, can you give me a rundown on what the hell that is?
Tom Bombadil?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked? Oh, you cut out a
Yeah,
bit.
what the hell is Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil? Okay, so he's just like basically like he's an entity that's separate from most of the gods, and he more or less cares for nature. So he's just like someone who helped them out in the book and get through everything more or less. Like, I don't want to like delve too deep into it because like the more you talk about it, like the more you talk about the book and shit. So I'm just like brushing over it. Hey.
Did he create the Treebeard people, the Ents?
No, he did not. I'm pretty sure it was one of the makers that made the Ents, because the Ents are a very old race. But anyway.
The Ents would be like one of his boys, because he loves nature.
Yeah,
they're nature people.
Yeah, so hopefully they delve into those, and then, like, with Fantastic Beasts coming out, obviously that's like keeping the Harry Potter, like, world and mystical wizard place going along, and then the new Star Wars trilogy, with the Star Wars that's already coming out, like, they're just pumping it out. It's also like those major companies that now own all of these taking over, like Warner Brothers and like Disney and all that. Yeah. So I think it like a lot of that influence is coming from them trying to pump money out of these big franchises. But to the general viewer, I don't think that's a problem. Like, even as like
as long as the content's good.
Yeah, even if it's not like, because it's a very big bar for all of those movies. Like, Lord of the Rings was great, Peter Jackson did great, fucking Star Wars, Lucasfilms, all that kind of stuff is amazing. Harry Potter World, which you still haven't watched, which is kind of a little bit worried about me, 2 movies you've missed, is still great as well. And as anyone who is an avid viewer of any of them know, that you will, if you need to, shit on someone else's universe, but you respect and appreciate how well like set out and mapped out each story is.
Yep, Harry Potter's very well set out. I mean,
hello, I'm Harry Potter. Gonna wave my stick at you and see what happens, yeah?
Yeah, correct. I think you've got the whole gist of the movies. You may as well not watch it.
You've got no nose and a bald head. Why do you want to kill me? I've got a scar. Do you want to know how I've got these scars?
Wait, did you just like merge Harry Potter and Voldemort into the same person?
No, I was
you just
saying
said
that Voldemort
you just
was trying to kill Harry. I said you've got.
They have
no
the same
nose and a
voice.
bald
That doesn't.
head, and you're trying to kill me.
You said I've got a scar. Oh my god.
Fucking use your ears, Ben. Listen. Holy shit.
I am. You're like, you said I've got no nose though, so I'm assuming you were talking as though you were Voldemort.
Got no nose. Or did I say I've got no nose? I don't even know if I said it.
We'll find out. Tune in next week, where we rectify this problem.
Fantastic. But no, I actually do like Harry Potter. As much as I just I didn't even really get it shit. It was just a bad Harry Potter impression.
As you're known for?
It is good. Yeah, I'm known for my impressions. I think two things of Harry Potter. That the movies that I have seen of it, which isn't all of them, I've missed 2 of them, I think. So I've watched 1 through Goblet of Fire and then 7 part 1 and 2. It could mean I missed 3 of them, I don't know.
I think you missed 2. Half-Blood Prince and Order of the Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Either way, I really enjoyed those movies. They're all very good. I just fill in the middle with my head, fill in the blanks, and also think that Christopher Walken needs more roles in Harry Potter. He has 0. I would like 10.
I would like 10.
I would like 10. Maybe some Adam Sandler in there as well. Actually, Adam Sandler can bring all his friends. What I want... Okay. This is what I want. Forget
here we go.
all the current cast. This is what I want out of Harry Potter.
Hit me.
Adam Sandler brings all his friends, except they're all Hogwarts students, and they all look really old, except they just don't acknowledge that at all. They just wear the student gear, kind of like Wet Hot American Summer, how they're all old, but
Yep.
they're acting as teenagers. Yeah, they're the next generation of kids to go through Hogwarts.
And then they bring back
So
the
it's
rest
Kevin
of the
James
cast,
and
though.
David Spade and...
So, like, yeah, they bring, like, all of the other actors, though, for, like, the teachers that stay. It's just all the kids are replaced by old
Oh, of course.
comedy actors.
Hagrid's there, and...
Wow.
Yep, I don't remember who else.
Someone signed this,
Dumbledore's
man.
dead, isn't he?
And the main shtick that he says the whole time, Adam Sandler, is, "Stop looking at me, Schwan!" He keeps quoting all his old movies. Just one-liners. It's just a constant thing like that.
Adam Sandler, use the one to rewind your life.
Ah, fuck.
It also needs more tree beards and ants. I
Yeah.
always think they're called tree beards.
Well,
but
the
that's
Whomping
one
Willow
ants.
can be replaced by Treebeard. It'd be fine.
I don't know what the Walding Willow is, but sure.
The one that
I mean-
in the Chamber of Secrets they land the car in it, and
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I remember
come
that,
on.
Actually, it like eats a bird or hits a bird or something like that.
yeah, no, that's
one
in
random
that's
scene.
in another one, but
Oh.
yes, same tree,
Same
and
tree?
it takes
Okay,
shots
good.
of it every time, and it like shakes all the leaves off and changes like through the seasons in I want to say Prisoner of Azkaban, actually, yeah.
Man, why is there a cool tree involved in every series but Star Wars? See, what Star Wars doesn't have is a cool tree.
Cool tree. We need a cool tree character. There's got to be like a
do.
tree race out
And then
there.
we need a merger for all of them. They're one tree race.
There'd have to be though. Like, I mean, there's that many aliens. You'd have to have a tree-based entity in that universe somewhere. So it'd be easy to incorporate. You'd think.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, there is sort of a tree involved in Star Wars lore. It's just not in all of the movies. There was a tree in the Jedi Palace, in the courtyard in there, and I can't remember what happened to it. I remember reading about it. Either Darth
Katan
Vader
cut
went
it
to
down.
get it, or he hunted down someone who had it.
So not Kyle
Either
Katarn.
way, no, it wasn't Kyle Katarn. Oh, that's who they should. Oh, jeez, I just threw a battery because
You gotta stop throwing shit. Holy
I'm
fuck.
just fucking pegging shit
So
everywhere.
pent up for the rage. It's gonna hit
That's who
something.
they should base the next trilogy on.
Oh,
Kyle
please.
Katarn. That'd be sick. Just give me Outcast and Academy Remastered.
The one that you won't finish because it makes you too angry.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
Sticking with the Sam gets angry theme. I remember we'd be on the like
throwing shit again.
on Discord and we'd be talking about it like, oh, I've just got through a couple levels and you're like, I'm still fucking stuck on this jump. Oh, how'd he kill me? No.
I'm bad at PC games. A mouse is just... I mean, sure, it's the best thing to aim with, but if you're a console pleb like me, and you always have been, it just makes no sense. But yeah, so Lord of the Rings, though, let's talk about that. So they want to make a new Netflix series out of it, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Netflix.
I think they're having a huge argument, a huge bid for it at the moment between Netflix and I believe Amazon as the main
Okay.
contenders.
Well, I hope it's Netflix, because I don't have fucking Amazon, and I want to watch it. Whether
I
it's
read
the
somewhere
original
that,
movies
like-
or not.
Sorry, you've cut out again. 1 sec.
Oh, sorry, man. I was saying that I want... oh, shit.
You want it to be
yeah.
not-
I
yeah.
want it to be on Netflix so that I can fucking watch it, because I don't have Amazon, whether it's the original movies or not. See, because we don't know if it's going to be the plot of The Lord of the Rings or not, do we?
No, so it's speculated that it's going to be based on the novels. So that is kind of open-ended to me that it could be a readaptation of the movies, like along that kind of storyline, sticking with the main bits. But what I hope they do is they delve more into the lore and like there's a lot of like side stories and things that they can look into, like the Barrows and the Wrights and stuff. Is an example of that they can look into which would be a decent story, like as a short like 40-minute story into it. Maybe it's kind of tied into the movies in a sense. Like it could be like if you watch this bit, it would make sense that this happened before this in the movie. But hopefully it's just well made and they stick close to the books because that's what most people who are like Lord of the Rings fans will be looking for, I think.
Well, for all we know, it could be keeping up with the Sackville Bagginses.
What's keeping up with the Sackvilles? Yo, I'm the Sackvilles. Welcome to my crib. We want that crib up on the hill, but we can't.
Or the Shire Shenanigans, right? And it's an office-style sitcom. And you get... I can never remember his name, the guy who played Bilbo in The Hobbit, because he was in the UK Office. Get him in there, he'd nail it. Get him to carry the show as Bilbo. Shire Shenanigans.
It's just Bilbo, it's just Bilbo. But it's set in the style of fucking Scotty's Prank Patrol. And they jump out of the horse and wagon and it's like, you've just been pranked by the Prank Patrol! And it's just a whole lot of shenanigans like that. They prank Gandalf with these fireworks and things.
His firework truck, yeah.
But yeah, no, so...
a truck, it's a cart. But, yeah.
It's, talking about like who's going to have it, HBO was outbidded completely, apparently. Which I think could have been one of the better ones to adapt it, because like they do really well with all their series. But so yeah, Netflix or Amazon are going to be the one. But either way,
what I was actually
we don't know who's going to be like producing it in that.
Yeah, I really do hope it's Netflix. They've been making a lot of banging originals lately, especially Stranger Things 2 and stuff like that. But what I do actually want out of the Lord of the Rings show, trilogy, whatever it's going to be. Is whatever it is, I do want it to be a kind of original story, whether it is a spin-off of novel characters and stuff like that. But I want it to be gritty, to be honest. Kind of like the same kind of tone of the movies. Yeah. Not too light-hearted or anything. I felt like The Hobbit was too light-hearted and happy. I really like a Middle-earth that's kind of dark and gritty. And that is what I want out of it. Like, not Game of Thrones levels, probably.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, to the sense where it, like, shows, like, the fighting and stuff, but it's not, like, going out of the way to make it gory or, like, in your face. Not to the point, though, where it's The Hobbit.
Rape. Like, that. Like, I don't want it to be too much, you know?
I mean, I want it, but I don't want it in the movie, right? I want it in the new series.
Your words, not mine.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Like, you don't want it to be as tame as The Hobbit. You want it to be around the same kind of pacing, like, visually as, like, the movies. Yeah. No, I agree, 100%.
Awesome. I don't know if I do want it to be a rehashing of The Lord of the Rings or not, though. I mean, because that's such a good story.
I wouldn't want to see it done as a TV series. I don't know what it is, I just don't want that.
I think it could be done.
It could definitely be done, but in my mind...
Those movies are so good, just leave them as is. Like, they're not going to remake the Star Wars trilogy. Don't make the next, like, original Star Wars trilogy. Don't remake the next best trilogy, or in your eyes, I guess, the best trilogy. Which, I mean, you can debate that either way. They're both fantastic.
Yeah.
But, yeah. With Harry Potter, though, I don't give a shit what you do. As long as it's good. I still haven't watched Fantastic Beasts. I don't really care about it, but I heard that was great.
It's a weird movie. It's strange, kind of like... I don't know, the actor was kind of weird in it, but, like, it was good. Like, it's a movie that you'd probably watch again at some stage. Like, later on, if it was on TV, you'd still sit down and watch it. Like, hey, I enjoyed that movie. But, yeah, they're also going to keep up with it, making Fantastic Beasts 2 as well. So that's, like, their, like, attempt at keeping it going. But, like, J.K. Rowling keeps bringing out books, so there's no doubt there's going to be more movies based off those. It's just a matter of time.
J.K. Rowling also doesn't want them to do The Cursed Child, and I don't think they are going to do that. Which I don't think The Cursed Child was received very well anyway, as a play or a book. So, yeah.
No, like, I agree.
We'll see what happens.
I just don't see that they should do any of those major pillar movies, like the actual movies, in our lifetime at the very least. Like, they shouldn't redo them.
No, I don't think they should ever redo them. They should leave them as they are. They were big cinematic achievements.
I don't doubt that they eventually will be redone, but yeah, not for a long time.
But just to sort of wrap up as like the last little add-on to this topic, there's a lot of franchises that it sounds like we want resoundingly to keep going, all three of them, to keep bringing out good stuff. But what franchises do you think either need to end or just go for quite a while and then be rebooted? I mean, Shrek. I've got a couple in mind.
And Shrek right now. I found out that they're making another one, and...
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, it needs to stop. They just kept pushing it, and I just can't see it being anywhere near as good as, like, the original. I'm gonna say, like, push it with 3.
Somebody once told me to end the Shrek movies. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
So I didn't. I kept making them now. There's a 5th one coming out.
I kept churning them out, and then
Everyone
I got
pout.
gout.
Oh, that's accurate. That's what you get if you keep making these movies. Gout.
It's the Shrek curse. But Shrek definitely. I haven't watched the most recent one. I didn't watch the Puss in Boots movie. I watched 1 to 3. That was where I drew the line. I like all those 3 movies. I think they're very creative and well done. But I don't need to watch it past there. Once you've seen Shrek 1 to 3, or really just 1, you can't see the whole thing.
Shrek 1's all you need in your life.
Fucking what needs to end though is goddamn Transformers. Why does Michael Bay keep just banging him out? Now Bumblebee has a spin-off movie as well. That character can't even talk. Like,
yeah, I just don't know. Like, this was so much potential with more of the movies. Like, the animated series and like the world of Transformers is huge, and there's like a lot you can do. But like the way that they've gone ahead have focused less on the story. I think more on just action. And absurd action. Like, I don't know if you've seen the newest one, but like,
no,
it's kind of just an absurd thing with the whole ancient knights and giant ships and Optimus bad man doing things, and you're just like, and kill me. And then like, I don't know if there's like a spoiler for Bumblebee says something in the movie and he talks, and his one line is he goes to punch someone and he says sting like a bee, and it's just too much for me to handle. I mean, it's just cheesy.
What kind of voice does he have? I really hope to be one that you don't expect, like a little girl's voice, like
sting like a bee.
Sting like a bee, love. Cheers.
Cheers, love. I'm a tracer.
No, it's like
the cavalry's here.
It's like deep. It's like sting like a bee, like trying to be badass. But no, I think that should end. I need them to end.
There you go. It absolutely should end. I mean, the first movie, I will always defend the first Transformers movie until the day I die. That movie is fantastic.
It is.
Exactly what a Transformers movie needs to be. It's hilarious. Shia LaBeouf is good. All the characters are good. The plot's simple enough for it to be great. That movie self-contained is awesome. Then from 2, I nearly walked out of the movies watching that as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I think I was 12. I might have been a little bit older. But
2 is rough.
If you can't keep a 12 to 14-year-old, however old I was when that movie came out, engaged, you're doing something bad, because that movie's designed to sell toys. And then 3
was
I
okay.
liked that for one specific reason. That was Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. And then I haven't watched any of the Mark Wahlberg ones, because all 2 on, they're bad. I just think they're legitimately bad.
I think 3's okay. 3's like passable, because like they kind of move back towards it a bit, and the story seems to flow a bit better. But like 2 is absurd. I hate 2.
Except they also, after the first one, they kept out some of the best characters. That guy, I can never remember his name, but he's the guy who's sitting when they're getting interrogated by the FBI and they have the plate of donuts, and he's like, you gotta eat them. You don't eat them, you're guilty. If you're guilty, you don't eat. I ate the whole plate. The whole plate. It's like, that guy was awesome. He was hilarious. I loved everything he did. And then they just didn't put him in the next movie. He like carried the comedic part of that movie for me.
Yeah.
And then the next one, it's just 2 racist robots who sucked. And then I don't know. They just made bad decisions.
End your movies, boy. Don't hurt us anymore.
Don't hurt us, Mr. Bay. Another series that needs to end though is the Terminator movies. They suck. Genesis sucked. Salvation sucked. All of the new ones suck. I actually only like the first one and maybe the second one. That's
First 2 are good.
Yeah. The rest of them are all bad. That franchise needs to end. I think they're talking about rebooting it though, so we'll see what happens.
Jeez.
And Alien.
That was one I was looking at.
Yeah, that's my last recommendation for a series to end. Covenant. It's beyond bad. Covenant is an abomination. And then Prometheus. I fell asleep through that, so I can't judge that properly.
It was a weird movie. It was so strange.
Yeah. And then Alien, like, 1 and 2, I can't really remember 3. They were really good.
What do you prefer?
Ripley
Do you
was
prefer Alien or Aliens?
They blend into one for me. I think Aliens.
I think Aliens is the better.
Aliens is set in the, like, later, like, that, yeah. Like, she was in Cryosleep for ages or something like that, wasn't she? I don't know.
Would you rather watch Aliens or Predator?
I've never seen Predator, so I cannot make a judgment.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, I thought you said you choose Predator. Okay. I'd rather watch Aliens.
No, I haven't seen Predator.
Aliens is my one. How about Alien versus Predator?
I've seen Alien vs Predator, the newest one that came out. That would have been like 2009. That had a game based off it. That was alright. I liked it then. That was easy to impress then. I mean, Transformers 2 can impress me, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, that's just like a fight movie. You just watch aliens and shoot fight, so that's all you're in it for.
Yeah.
It's classic. Yeah. Other ones that, like, are obvious is, like, the Fast movies. I think they should have ended it after, like, Paul Walker's last movie, as respectfully, like, for him. Also, like, you're not gonna, like, you can't reboot it. It's past fixing now.
Fast and the Furious, you have Dylan Blight shaking in his boots. He loves those movies, and
so do
you
I.
bonded over that.
Like, I just think that they need to end now. Like, you don't like them, like, whereas I like all of them watching them still. Like, I'll watch them as a guilty pleasure now.
I like some of them.
Yeah, but, like, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Yeah?
Yeah.
But even I think they just need to end.
There's no point watching.
Yeah, I just think they need to end now.
Yeah.
Before I start to actually hate them, and then that's... Oh, man. I can't deal with that.
Now they're getting spin-offs as well. The Rock is getting, like, his character's getting a spin-off. And then Tyrese doesn't want to work with The Rock as well. Except he's not a huge loss if he's not there anymore. Like, what did he add? But, yeah, except for that one of my favourite lines in Fast and the Furious history, like I said, we hungry.
You've said that so many times. It's absurd.
So good. I say that a lot when I'm actually hungry. But, yeah. So yeah, I guess those are all the franchises that need to die. But we are coming.
There's definitely
into
more though.
The hour mark. Oh, there definitely are more. I could talk about this for ages, and I'll start getting angry. But
angry.
I won't get angry.
Like I said,
I'll
we
get
angry.
Hungry. And like I said, I'm hungry. Anyway. Yeah, no, we're starting to get into the hour mark now, so we might as well wrap it up. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you like the content that we're putting out, especially, we do have a lot of awesome future content lined up and a good shake-up of how we do things, and hopefully getting on a schedule. So if you've enjoyed the CasualCast, please hit that subscribe button so you can get notified as soon as we upload it each and every single week. And until next time, I've been Sam for Banter with Ben. Au revoir.
Tune in next week when we skin a chicken.
Woo!